Merry Christmas. Life is amazing. It's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing what can happen in life. I was talking to a man yesterday who got married, and he decided, a young man too, he decided that he's going to be a good husband. He wasn't going to cheat on his wife. He's going to work hard. He's going to take care of his family. He committed to that. Got into the prayer and just decided, I'm going to do the right thing. And life was just working very well. Then he found out his wife cheated on him. And so now he has to live with a wife who cheated on him. And he's doing it because, they have children, and the wife is really sorry that she did it. Real sorry that she did it. Have you ever done something, Satan blind you for a moment, and he convinced you to do something that is wrong, and then as soon as you do it, he step aside and let you see what you've done, and now you want to kill yourself because it's just horrible, right? Well, she is sorry that she did it. She really is, so I hope that they work it out. Most of the time, cheaters are not sorry that they cheat, but this man's wife is. She's a nice lady. I'm a little surprised she did it. She's a good woman, but so he understands that, and they're working it out. But we were talking about, it's amazing. He never thought that one day down the road, he's going to have to deal with a cheating wife. You don't know what's coming down the road. That's why it's good to deal with these little things that are happening now, so that it prepares you for things to come. Absolutely. Yes?
There's a comment online. I was asleep my whole life till I heard Jesse. Now everything he says matches with my beliefs. Unfortunately, I'm a coward and come from a family full of miserable cowards. It's not a question, but it's a comment.
Yeah, that's a nice comment. But the fact that he recognized he's a coward, he's overcoming it. Or he or she. That's good. Yeah. Most people are cowards. That's why we're losing families. And as a matter of fact, most families are screwed up. Have you noticed that? Most families are messed up. I haven't seen a well put together family in years. So I'm thinking it might be okay. One day, Mary, Jesus' mother, her name was Mary, right? And I'm bad at names. Mary and Jesus' brother showed up. Or they were waiting for Jesus on the outside of the synagogue or something. And someone said, Jesus, your mother and your brother is waiting for you. Are waiting for you outside. He said, my mother and my brother are those who hears God's word and absolutely keep his word. They do his word completely. That's my brother and those are my mothers and brothers. And so our blood family is not really our family. They're like a blood family, but our true family are those who hears God's word and do his word completely. Not the ones who sin, and call themselves children of God. Those are not your true brothers and sisters either. Those who are keeping the word, they hear the word, and they do the word completely. Not halfway do it, not sometime do it, but completely. Yes?
On the gentleman whose wife cheated, he had no sense that she had that in her? I mean, there was nothing that
there was nothing there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And they've been together for how long?
They've been together about, if I took a guess, I think about 5 years or so.
And he never saw any quality in her that would give rise to that possibility.
Right.
That's really unusual.
Because she's just not that kind of woman.
Yeah.
She's really not that kind of woman. And he know why it happened, too.
Okay.
He understands all that, why she did it.
Right.
But no, there was no sign.
Wow.
And I'm happy they're trying to work it out because she's really sorry about it.
Yeah.
It's not like some men and women who cheat and they just say, oh, I'm sorry, but really don't mean it.
Right.
This is different.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. And it's interesting talking to him about it. He said the way he found out that he could sense something had changed in her. He knew something, but he didn't know what it was. And cheating was the last thing he expected. And so he asked God to let him see What's wrong with this marriage? What's going on? Something wrong with my wife. What is it? And right after that, she came and told him. Isn't that amazing? So that's how he found out. She told him because she felt so guilty. And he told me that yesterday that the guy that, he didn't know the guy or something, but the guy that she cheated with, right out, called him too and just totally apologized. He's like, I was so wrong. It was just so awful. I feel like I'm going to hell. I'm truly, truly, truly sorry. Even the guy is sorry for it. Isn't that amazing? Would you stay with a woman, G, that cheat on you?
No.
Even if she's sorry for it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I'm out.
What?
I'm out.
I'm out.
Goodbye.
But how about if you cheated one time and you were sorry for it, when you want your wife to try to work it out?
Nah, she better not keep me
Why not?
because I was a dog about it. Then I gotta
No, if
change.
you were sorry, you weren't a dog.
I don't know. If I really love her, I'll be like, oh, please.
Right.
But I don't know.
What about with kids?
How about if you had kids? That's a good
Man.
question.
She'd be like, I have to swallow it, be so bitter. I'll probably stop having sex with her, though. Get her a new room. I don't even touch her no more.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
But you need to, if she's sorry, man, you need to forgive her.
I forgive her, send her
if it
to
was
church.
a continuation of doing it, if she did it continuously, then I wouldn't, I wouldn't be bothered with it.
Yeah, I forgive her, but she got to get out the house.
That's not forgiveness, G.
You want me to go back
I'll
and sleep
forgive
with
you,
her
but
again?
You gotta leave. This sounds like those Christians who said, I forgive, but I don't forget. That's amazing. All right. Yes, James.
My comment is there was this prophet in the Bible that God forced him to stay with this. He actually made him marry this prostitute, and she kept on cheating on him, and he had to keep on taking her back.
That's right.
I think it was an illustration of what God does with us,
Yeah.
or with Israel. did
And
with
what's the guy named G?
Israel. Close. It was called Hosea.
Well, G, you better get over that so that when you get married, you may have to deal with it. Because God gives you what your weakness needs.
This person said, marriage can be difficult, but it's bigger than the two of you, especially if you have kids. It's not
Yeah.
just about you.
That's right. It's about the kids once they're involved.
Hosea was the prophet.
Yeah.
This person is asking, how would you ask God to show you something?
I would say, God, show me something. Just that simple. Whatever it is you want to see, ask and you shall receive. As long as you don't doubt. Ask. And I remember, and I've told this story before, when I was growing up in Alabama, you hear the older people say, whatever you ask God for, if you don't doubt, He will give it to you. And as a kid, I believed that, right? And so I would be walking down the road, and I would test it. It would be like a bright, sunshiny day, no clouds or anything. And so I would ask God, God, if you are real, if it's true that I could get what I want, ask for, let it start raining. Let it rain right now. And down the road, it'll start raining just like that, in front of me. And that's the truth. It will rain. And then I remember one time I asked him to let it thunder. And he let it thunder. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. And so whatever you ask, whatever you want, and if you ask without doubting, you shall have it. Isn't that amazing? The reason most people don't get what they ask for is because they doubt it. And with doubt, you cannot please God. Anyone who has doubt cannot please God. So don't waste your time if you have doubt. You have to ask with faith. But yeah, just ask for what you want. Just say, give me this. Don't ask for a wife, though. I used to ask God for a wife, and every woman He gave me, I was going to Crenshaw Christian Center, and the preacher said, ask for a wife. And every woman that he gave me, I couldn't handle her. I was weak and pathetic with her, right? And so I just said, you know what, God, I'm not going to ask for a wife anymore. If you want me to have one, fine. If not, fine. Because I couldn't deal with them at the time. I was weak. So be careful what you ask for. Be careful. Yes, Hermes.
Can you elaborate on what do you mean by when you say God gives you what your weakness needs? What do you mean by that?
Let's say that you have fear of standing up to someone. For the rest of your life, you're going to run into people that you're afraid of. You can't tell the truth to. You're afraid of their reaction. You're afraid of this. You're not going to get around it. You can't go over it. You got to go through it. And so that's what I mean. But once you stand up and deal with it, then you're done with it. The fear is gone, and now you move on to the next weakness. And that's what growing is all about.
There's a verse in the Bible that talks about all that. I remember hearing, if you want courage, he'll allow calamity to come so that you'll be strong. If you are fearful, he'll bring terror to you so that you can learn to have strength.
Yeah, God,
if you want
God
courage,
doesn't think like we think, huh?
then he'll bring war to you. He'll allow those things to come to you. If you want a woman, you should be drawn to God, not to a woman. So he's going to allow those women to come to you so that you can learn to overcome.
Yes, that's right. And the thing about him, he's not going to give you more than you can handle. Any more you can handle, but he's going to give you what you need. So he's not like we are. We don't want our kids to go through that. Oh, don't let them go through that. Take care of them. Watch out. Don't let them feel pain. And God doesn't think. If Jesus came right now, the Son of God, if you like come into this meeting and start speaking truth, there'll be a mob out there waiting to hang him and kill him because he would be politically incorrect. That's how deep it is. That's all I hand. Yes, sir.
This person is following up with how to ask God to show you something.
Yeah.
They're saying, I guess because they know you, so ask with words.
Yes, ask with words. Out loud. Out loud. Yeah. But when you return to the Father completely, and your nature become His nature, you don't really have to be asking anymore, because He already know your need. But on the way there, you can ask. I don't know if I might want to take that back, because you can ask God, you know what, God, give me courage, right? And you're like, okay. You want courage? And he'll give you all these things, just dump all this stuff on you, and you can't handle it. So I would just say, are they still paying attention?
I'm sure.
I would just say, God, let your will be done. Because a lot of times you ask for stuff that you can't handle. And because we don't know what we want, and we don't know what we need. So don't be asking. I take it back. Shut up and let God's will be done. Now, when you're going through a lot, let's say you're in grief pain because you messed up, you can ask Jesus to help you through this. You know, like, Jesus, give me your strength to go through this, and He'll help you. And that's kind of nice because you need help through things. But don't be asking for stuff.
This is the person whose whole family is cowards. He said, my brother is a weak, pathetic man who chases an abusive girlfriend, chooses to be homeless, and wants everything for free and not work. And he's not right. He says, I'm not writing this to disrespect him.
But what does it have to do with asking God?
No, this is referring to the guy who said that he's a coward and his whole family are cowards.
Right. But I would take my eyes off my family members and just work on myself. Let them go suffer and die.
Thank you.
And just keep your eyes on yourself. The greatest mistake you can make is to look at someone else. Let them go and work out the way they got to go in order to return to the Father. Because some people need to suffer. Some people don't follow consciousness, the mind of God. So they need to go through hell, and hopefully that hell will wake them up. So let your family members suffer. And don't worry about it. If they make it, fine. If they don't, fine. It's not up to you, it's up to God. This is good internet.
Yeah, he's asking, what do I do if every time I tell someone the truth about themselves that can help them change, they quit talking with me in very upfront? I'm very upfront, but it's the truth.
Do nothing. Go your way, because people don't have to accept what you're telling them. They have a right to reject it. They have a right to be angry. Let them go. Forget about them. Don't force it on it. If you notice with God, He doesn't force anything on us. He'll let us end up on Skid Row. He would allow us to end up in the worst situations. He's not going to force you to love Him. He's not going to force you to return to Him. He won't stop you, so let your family go as well. There's nothing worse than trying to impose the truth upon someone. So leave them alone. Leave people alone. People don't always want to hear from me either, and I'm okay with that. I'm not mad about it. I understand it, and I let them have their way. You can't force. God doesn't force His love upon anybody. Either you receive it or you don't. If you don't receive it, fine. If you do receive it, fine. That's how He feels about it. Yes.
I think that's a monumentally important point, because I think a lot of us, here learn a lot of things from you, and it sort of becomes like a parrot, telling people that we're running into all these things, and it becomes deep, and it's a really problematic thing, and it's not God's love.
Nope.
When you're acting like that, and you feel disappointed in people because they're not listening to what you're saying and all that, and what you have to do is, like what you're saying, is look at yourself and go, why do I feel like this about this person? Because they're not listening to me. What will is coming across in me? Because if you look at that, you will realize that it's your will. This is all about.
All ego.
It has nothing to do with the truth.
Just think about that. That's such a good point. The truth is not yours. It's a gift from God working through you. And so you take His truth and you offer it to someone else, and they don't accept it, and you get mad. That says something wrong with you. That says you don't really believe in God. Because if you believed in God, there's no way on earth or in heaven you would get mad at someone because they don't accept the truth from you. That's all ego. It says that you don't know what you're talking about, and that you lack love. You don't have love. But that's a very good point. And you have a lot of Christians and Muslims, and I don't know if the Jews do it. And what else we have out there? And those people that come by on Saturday. No, not the Mormon. Jehovah's Witness. They come by, they just ring the doorbell and wake you up, and then they want to force you to take this stuff they got. That's not of God. Really, it's not of God. God is not going to force you to receive salvation. He's not going to force you to receive love. And why should I? When people don't like the truth from me, they don't want to hear it, I'm totally fine. Fine. Go and die. Because that's what's going to happen. Unless you wake up somewhere down the road, of course. But I don't have a right to be mad at someone because they don't want to hear the truth. I hear a lot of Christians, especially those who quote the Bible. 1 John said, and then you say, well, I don't want to hear about 1 John. You just hate the truth. And then they go to 2 John. They still won't just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me do what I got to do. God doesn't force it. He never forced the truth on you. And on the way down the road, He'll kind of remind you, hey, you're making a mistake here. You better watch it. But if you ignore that, He'll let you jump into the ocean and kill yourself. He's not going to force love on you. Either you love Him freely or you don't love Him at all. It's just that simple. Isn't that nice to be that way? Yeah. I feel like it's nice. It feels nice to me.
I was just going to add that the truth is sweet, and it's not of anger, it's not of being right and proving somebody wrong and any of that stuff. And that's the beauty of it, because the other way to communicate with people is all about ego, anger, he said, she said, and all of that. It's a completely different way of being.
I wish that I was able to just hand over to you the truth. That you can just receive it, but not from me. It has to come from God. It is a different reality. It is a different world. And it's peaceful all the time. You never have conflict. You never have worry. You never have doubt. You can take it or leave it. It is so nice. And it never stops giving. It just keep on giving. And the more you get, the more you want. Like that guy said, the more you give, the more I want. I can't get enough of your love, babe. That's a soul brother.
In James chapter 1, no, I'm just messing around. But I noticed that Jesus always says, pray for other people, and also pray for your enemies. So even that makes you think that you don't have to keep imposing yourself on another person.
That's right.
You just pray for them and just call it a day.
That's right. And the way you pray for others, it just said, Lord, let your will be done for that person, whatever it might be. You don't want to pray to keep them alive. You don't want to pray for anything, just because you don't know the person's heart. Only God knows the heart. And so when you say, let your will be done, and you wish people well, even if they're your enemy, there is no greater prayer than that. Always wish all people well, even your enemy. You don't have to agree with them, but in your heart, wish them well. Wish them well. Yes, sir. Come on down, Ray.
I got a problem with that.
Okay.
Just wish them God's will be done. I mean, it sounds perfectly logical, but really, what kind of prayer is that? You could do that with everything and not think about anybody at all, and not. I mean, there were specific times that the prophets and Jesus asked for things, and it was given to them.
Right.
They just didn't say, let their will be, let your will be done with this blind man, or whatever it was they were doing. And
but that's when you're going to heal someone. That's a different thing.
When you're going to,
if you're going to heal a sick person, you're going to rebuke the devil to lead this person. You're going there for a specific job. But if you're praying for someone and you don't know their condition and you don't know what's going on, then you ask God to let His will be done. Because if you pray for that person and God answers that prayer, that person can end up killing you.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard you say that before. I just didn't know the other side of it.
Let's say mama is sick, and mama been so mean, and you kind of wishing mama would die anyway, but mama's sick, and now you feel guilty. Lord, please let mama stay alive. Heal mama. Lord, please, right? And then mama is healed. And as soon as she rises up out that bed, she come after you again. And you're like, Lord, kill mama. I was just playing.
Well, then, how do you pray for your enemy?
That your will be done. Don't hate them. Love them.
And then you pray for your friend by trying to heal them.
If they ask for healing.
Okay.
Whatever. Wrong. I want you to meet Esteban. Go to the mic with Esteban. This is a good guy. Esteban is from
Connecticut,
and he found us on YouTube. Really liked what he heard, and called me up and went through some counseling sessions. And so he came here on Thursday to visit. And the counseling was helpful to you?
Definitely amazing.
In what way?
Well, before I even started talking to you, I was, going through some stuff, a lot of bitterness, anger, resentment towards my parents. I was definitely really emotional, I would get, mad easily. Someone said something, I'll be, so angry against them for, such a long time. And, it was controlling me. And as I went through counseling, I was able to really humble myself and eventually forgive my parents. And it's been such an amazing change, you know, just a few months ago, but then it felt like a big, huge weight just like left me.
Yeah.
And it's so peaceful, so calm.
If you want to be free, let the anger go. Forgive. For the only thing that's holding most people back is the unwillingness to forgive. And then those who try to forgive don't know how to forgive. You should never, ever, ever go and say, forgive me. Always tell them, I'm sorry for doing you wrong. I was wrong. That's forgiveness. Because most people will not forgive you. God will forgive you. He has it set up that way. But that's right. Let that go and everything else is easy. Because then you can reconnect to the Father. Before you enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must forgive. And all angry people have an unforgiving spirit. Everybody that has anger has not entered into the kingdom of heaven, so you don't know what we're talking about at this point. Your mind cannot conceive what God has to offer you, because that bitterness keeps you separated from God. And when you reconnect with Him, it's so simple. Your mind can never explain to you the ways of God, because your mind always make it seem big and difficult and a lot of work. But with God, the simpler you can make it, the better off you are. The more you let go, the more you come closer to Him. It's so simple, it's mind-blowing. It's not complicated. Simplicity is the way to go. I want to thank you, man. This is evil right here. There is a television show, I guess, called National Geographic. You heard about that station or network, whatever it is? It's a magazine. It's a magazine? But don't they have a TV show too? Yeah. Thank you. He's already corrected me. Sorry. Remind me to never get married. No, I'm kidding. Well, they have a magazine that's coming out in January, I guess. It might be already out. Is it already out? It's out already. But it's their 2017 edition for January. And on this magazine, it says, as part of its January 2017 issue, exploring our evolving understanding and definition of genders. So they try to understand genders. National Geographic is featuring a 9-year-old transgender rights activist. This boy is 9 years old, and his name is Avery Jackson, and he's on the cover of this magazine. And it says that for the first time, a trans person has made the cover of a magazine. And so what they have on this magazine, this 9-year-old boy dressed up like a girl. He looked just like a girl. And he's sitting up there posing like a little girl. And they made a video of this boy speaking, and he's talking about how nice it is to be a girl. He's always wanted to be a girl, and he's happy to be a girl, and there's nothing wrong with transgender. And even as a little boy, he would climb trees and do the tomboy thing, and he's finally a girl. He could be a girl. I think he still has the body part thing going on there, but in his mind, he thinks he's a girl. And when I saw that video and I read that article, I put a comment on there, and I said, in short, I said, this is evil. And I said that these parents hate their son. And then I put hashtag weak father, hashtag evil parents. And then I put so sad. Can you imagine? Did you ever thought that one day in America, we're going to have parents who will allow their little children, boys and girls, to dress up as a boy or a girl and go that route. Encourage that. And think that is fine. That is pure evil. I wouldn't be surprised if this boy doesn't commit suicide by the time he's 18 years old. Because this is not a healthy road to be taken. So many transgenders are committing suicide, just as the homosexuals are, and they have had the surgery, and after they have it, they regret it. And now they want to kill themselves. I believe in Europe, they stopped doing it. There's somewhere in Europe. Is that right, James? Remember we had a guy on the show that does that?
I'm not sure about Europe, but Johns Hopkins University stopped.
They stopped doing it. Stopped performing those surgeries because the people regret it later. Can you imagine taking your body part off, your natural God-given, and then putting on a false part, and now you're stuck with it? And then Satan step back and let you see you made a fool out of yourself? But now you're stuck with this thing. This is evil. This should not be happening. It's amazing that parents can do this to their little children. Little kids don't know what they want at the time. They go through all kinds of emotions and, I guess, feelings and thinking about things. They have no idea, and they have allowed this boy, 9 years old now, and then they have a video of him, and you can tell that they trained him exactly what to say and how to say it and the emotions to put in with it. And if you are an emotion person, it will grab you and convince you it's all right to be that way. Because it goes for your emotions. And you lose logic and you go along with hell. These parents are evil for doing this. And they're going to live to regret it. And the father, he has to be pathetic to let this happen to his little boy. But that's what we have in America today. Yes, James?
Online, Selena is asking, how do you find your true self? What other than prayer do you do?
That's a good question. First of all, I stay with prayer every day, and I'm learning to stay in prayer all day. But you go inside yourself and seek God. The kingdom of heaven is within. And the first step is to know in your heart that you're wrong the way that you are, that there is something wrong with me. I'm wrong for being angry. I'm wrong. I might not know how to overcome it, but I'm wrong. That's the beginning of salvation. So what I would advise is that you get a copy of my silent prayer and just sit still, go within and just watch. And everything will be revealed to you. But you got to calm down so God can catch up with you and guide you. And keep it simple. Very, very simple. But you got to get to know yourself. That's a very good question. So, this little boy name is Avery. His parents are evil. And this is happening more and more. Can you imagine that the children of the lie is trying to convince us to say that this is fine? There's nothing wrong with that. They're trying to convince us to do it, and unfortunately, a whole lot of people are going to say it. Just like they did with homosexuality, they market this stuff really well. They attack you if you disagree, and then they get the Christians, some Christians, liberal Christians, to accept it, and then they make you angry, and now you're saying, yeah, maybe I'm wrong about it. You're not wrong about this. This is good versus evil. And we gotta be aware and not give in to this stuff. Next thing you know, your little boy or little girl will be coming home, Daddy, I'm a girl. I'm not really a boy, because some stupid teacher told them that at school. And I want to talk about, this is where I want to get to. Have you ever heard seek and you shall find? Anybody ever heard that? Okay. Who know what that means? He did it like this. What do you think that means?
If you seek the Lord, if you're seeking the Lord and seeking right, you'll find it. Just specifically the Lord.
If you seek Him, how do you seek?
Just prayer and just asking the Lord. I'm asking for His guidance and all that.
Have you found Him?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You have found, how do you know?
Because like all my emotions are out, and then it's just complete logic, and everything just makes sense. And you don't have an emotion about it. It's just, it is what it is.
Okay. Anybody over here seek God? Oh, you know what it means to seek the Father? No? Y'all scared to answer, huh? Marky, you said yes because you were doing this. Man, time is going.
I had an idea, but
You have an idea?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
You're not sure?
No, I'm really not.
Well, then you can't tell us.
Oh,
Take that mic away from that man. How about the lady in the pink? Do you seek God?
I seek Him in prayer.
Like how?
I pray. I pray with my inner feelings. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I pray. That's how I seek Him.
Okay. Marcus and Sheila took me to a restaurant for lunch this week. Well, last week now, right? Because Sunday is the beginning of a new week. And I talked about it on the radio show. And it was a black restaurant, owned by blacks. And it was so nice. It was so nice that I gave them free advertisement when I got back to the show. And it was called Harold and Bell. It's nice and clean and sophisticated. They got a nice bar for those who drink. And so you can eat dinner in there and drink and watch the TV. And they look like they added to it like an extra room to it. It is so nice. And what really got my attention is that the waiters and the waitresses didn't have an attitude. And they were black. And they did not have they were like friendly. Wasn't they friendly? And they made you feel like they want you there. They didn't come up on you like, what are you doing here? You know? It was like going to a white cafe.
Sounds like it was better.
It was real, and the food, made you want to slap your mama. It was so good. So I'm just so happy to see it. I've been telling everybody about it. And I thank you guys for taking me there. It was really, really nice. It's in not a very welcoming neighborhood, but make sure you take your gun with you or something. But you could do valet parking right at the door. That way you don't have to worry about it. Isn't that right, Marcus? Isn't that right?
That's right.
Yeah, you do valet parking so you'll be safe. And I think the valet is about $5 or something. It's worth it. A life is worth more than $5. But the experience is really, really nice. It really, really is. So if you ever want some soul food, I had jambalaya. And Sheila had gumbo filet. And Marcus had fried fish on buns, open bun. Red snapper. It was really, really a nice moment. But anyway, God said, seek first the kingdom of heaven, and you shall find it, right? And so here's what I realized is that, and I'm going to give you some scriptures on it in a minute, is that the fact that you realize you need to seek it, you've already found it. Because you're yearning for something that you know was lost, but just forgot what it was. Because when we come into the earth, we know the Father as children. We come in innocent, and then we're born into a sinful family, and then we turn sinful because we hate our parents, we hate the hell we're going through. And so you know the Father. You have a relationship with the Father. You just forget it. And so there's something deep down in you that is reminding you that something is missing. Something deep in you lets you know that something is wrong. I have all the friends, I have all the money, I live in a beautiful area, I have a great job, but something is missing. And so the moment you realize that, in that very moment you found God. And then you start to grow. The only problem is that most people don't stay with it. They don't leave the cup open. They don't leave it empty so that God can continue to fulfill it, fill it up. You don't hold on to it, don't attach yourself to anything, and then God will fulfill that all the time. You'll start to just grow. But you already have it when you recognize something is missing. And you just forgot. But if you stay in prayer and stay with it, stay quiet, be aware, the mind of God, you will start to see it. And don't stop. Don't give up. Stay with prayer. A lot of people fall away because now they feel better, and they go back to their old habits, and they go right into hell. It's best not to even seek God if you're not going to stay with it. Because something in the Bible that says, like, he take the demons away from you. I'm paraphrasing. But then when you turn away, he brings 7 more or something that attack you. Something like that, right? Do you know the scripture?
Yeah, it says when they get the demon out, he returns looking for a home,
Yeah.
And if you let it in, he's gonna return with 7 demons, worse than the first one.
So you have to be more and more open, stay open, but you've already found the Father, and you will see that you have. You just forgot about him. Most people don't. They know something is missing, but they cover it up with other things: sex, movies, lies and video games, all that kind of stuff. Drinking. But if you're truly seeking him, you have already found him. Just stay with it. Don't stop. Stay with it. Even if you should step backwards, you mess up on something. No big deal. And don't judge it. He said analyze thought. You can't analyze thoughts. You did use the word analyze, right? Yeah. This is a spiritual battle. There's nothing you can do. And you've got to accept that if you want God to take over your life. Of yourself, you could do nothing. So let go of all that stuff. You don't know anything, and of yourself, you could do nothing. The ego doesn't want that to happen because it's the nature of Satan, and it will die, and it doesn't want to die. That's why I try to convince you, you need to be doing something. You need to be figuring this out. You need this. You don't need anything. You need to let go. You need to turn around and go the other way. And then you'll know God. It's simple, folks. It's so simple, it's amazing. But you got to stay with it. And the more you get, the more you learn. The more wisdom he gives you. But you got to be serious about it. And when I say serious about it, I don't mean like serious. You know what I mean? I mean like stay with it, serious kind of thing. And you're still going to have fun. A lot of people don't want to stop doing it because it looks like you're not going to have fun. You're going to have better fun. I have so much fun. Even when I'm by myself, I'm having fun. Because you're constantly discovering. And you're at peace. And you want for nothing. Identify with people, places, and things. And you see that you are the son of God. He is your father. Or daughter of God. He is your father. And you see that Jesus is your brother. And you see that whatever he owns is yours too. So you don't have to worry about things. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even have the desire to seek and find God if the desire was not already there. It's something there that's letting you know something's missing. He loves us enough to have done that for us. Yes, Ed?
One of the interesting things about seeking you shall find, seek anything and you're going to find that. If you want
That's
cocaine,
right.
You're going to find it. If you want a good time with a good time person, you're going to find
That's
that.
deep.
Whatever it is you find,
Yeah.
you've been seeking it. And it's a good thing to know when you reach something, you go, oh, I guess this is what I was looking for. Maybe this ain't the answer.
That's right.
Whatever,
That's a
whatever you're
very
looking
good
for, you're going to
point.
find it.
Yeah. And the thing about this way I'm telling you, it's so amazing. It is nothing what you can imagine. And then it's like I said, the more you give, the more you want. But he showed you how to relax so he can give you more wisdom. Just like Satan control you, he'll control you too.
Ask and it will be given to you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. Everyone who asks receives. Everyone who searches finds. Everyone who knocks will have the door opened. Is there anyone among you who would hand his son a stone when he asks for bread? or would hand him a snake when he asked for a fish? If you then, evil as you are, know how to give your children what is good, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him?
I like it when you say evil as you are. Huh? Because most people don't know or won't admit that they're evil. Human beings are evil. Isn't that amazing? I'm not going to ask anyone to raise your hand about being evil today, but I want you to see that you're evil. And once you see it, don't judge it. Have no opinion about it. Just watch it. Don't call it good. Don't call it bad. Don't call it right. Don't call it wrong, because you don't know right from wrong. And Satan can be like presenting that to you, and he could be setting you up to make you judge, to make you make a decision. And every man and woman who judge are playing God. And as long as you play God, you should never know God, because you're your own God. So whenever you make a decision, you're judging. You're playing God. And that's what the sin is. The sin is not smoking a cigarette. The sin is not having sex out of wedlock. The sin is not all that other stuff. But as a result of playing God, your ego is now growing and it hunger for the world. So you go out and have sex and smoke cigarettes and because you have all this guilt and stuff. But if you didn't judge, then the ego could not grow and you will have self-control. So you wouldn't need to smoke. You wouldn't need to do the alcohol. You wouldn't need the sex. You can wait until marriage. But every time you make a decision, you set yourself up. And Satan will make you make a decision.
I just wanted to say that this kind of message about seeking and finding, I realize is really important for me because it implies no effort. And, I'm so used to having effort in things that I do, and it just kind of reminds me that there actually is no effort in the process at all. And it just makes it really simple and sweet rather than trying to go after something in some sort of egotistical way.
Educated people, intellectual people, whether it's folks who've learned the Bible or gone to some universities, they have all kinds of degrees, it's almost impossible for them to accept the fact that of themselves they can do nothing. The ego will, because all that education puffs them up, the Bible puff up the readers, and the ego won't let you because it tells you, you already know the scriptures. You already know this, and it won't let you let go. Satan uses it against you. You're absolutely right about that. It's almost impossible. In Luke 11, chapter 11, 9 through 10, it's amazing that I'm trying to read and I don't know how to read. I'm the worst reader, but I like it. I like to put myself out there so I can get over it. So I say to you, ask, and it will be given to you. Search, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. Everyone who searches finds. Everyone who knocks will have the door open. What father among you, if his son asks for a fish, you will give him a snake? Or if he asks for an egg, you will hand him a scorpion? If you then, evil as you are, do you see yourself as being evil?
No, I don't see myself as evil, but I know I have some evil ways.
Yeah, but you don't know that you're evil.
No, I do. I guess I do, yeah.
You see yourself as evil?
I don't see myself as evil, but I know I have some evil ways that I need to overcome.
Why don't you see yourself as evil? You probably think you're so nice, huh?
No.
So you see some evil ways, but you don't see that your heart is evil.
I guess I don't see that my heart's evil. I don't feel that my heart's evil.
It feels like it's good?
Yeah, it feels like it's good.
Oh, I understand the setup.
Am I being set up by the devil right now?
Yeah. So do you think you could have evil ways, some evil ways, and have a good heart?
No.
Yeah. You
So
can't.
I'm evil.
Right. You're evil to the core. And that smile, it fools everybody until
No,
you get
I'm
them.
not. I just feel awkward now because I feel like I'm in a room full of good people.
No, you're not.
But I'm not. Yeah.
That's right. That is a lie from the devil. Satan is like, oh, you just admitted you're evil. Now all these good people looking at you. He's lying to you.
Yeah.
He's totally lying to you. But to see it is enough. Don't be mad about it. Don't judge yourself about it. And to overcome it is simply to admit it, to see it.
Yeah, I try not to think about it, like, or else I'll drive myself crazy. I feel like.
Yeah, only because you're judging it.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, you need to see it, but don't have an opinion about it. Don't say, "Oh, I'm an evil
Feel
person."
sorry for yourself or nothing.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Just see it. That's all you need to do, and pray, and it will change.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, I try to stay in the. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Are you doing the prayer?
Honestly, I fell off. Like, I was doing it, but I'm going to get back on it tonight.
Man, I urge you to get back on it. And correct me on this if I'm wrong. Didn't somewhere, you remember that guy John the Baptist? Didn't he tell his disciples, in your very center there is someone you do not recognize? One of the John said it. Yeah, it's there. And the moment you start seeking, you have him. Now, Satan will try to convince you that you don't, but you do. He's right there with you. He's been there all along. He's been with you all along, but you've been up here in your head. You've been out in the world, and you have not recognized. All right. Oh, did I finish reading this? If you then, evil as you are, know how to give your children what is good, how much more will the Heavenly Father give the Holy Spirit to those who ask Him? You got to ask and don't doubt. All right? But don't stop seeking. Look how you stopped seeking already. On the run, and you stop praying.
I give thanks to God every morning for waking up, for another day of life.
That's not enough. The children of Satan waking up every day for life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the children of the devil get up. Thank you for life. You ask someone, how you doing? I'm alive.
Sound miserable.
What?
Those people usually are miserable.
I'm grateful to be alive, but I want to have peace in my life. Christ came that I might have peace. I don't want to just be alive and suffering, making all kind of stupid mistakes, getting involved in all kind of situations. It's, don't you want more than that? Oh, how you doing? I got cancer. My son went to jail today. My daughter got pregnant by an old no-good man. But I'm alive. It's greater than that. God wants much more than that for you. You're lucky to be alive so that you can repent and maybe get a chance to live. But you want to live. You want life. That make sense? No? Well, here's what I recommend. I'll take your question. I got to wind down. Here's what I recommend. Do what you want. I would go within and seek the Father, and I would stay with it. I invite you to download my quiet prayer.
Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church.
And I'm a witness because I've been doing it now 28 years, maybe a little more. And I've seen people fall away. They start doing it, and that has encouraged me to stay with it. But I stay with it because I see how God has taken over my life and how He's changing me, how He's giving me peace, and He's just fulfilling my life. Wisdom is amazing. He give you wisdom. It is amazing.
Lord, teach me how to treat my neighbor. And every day I want you to teach me love, my friend. Lord, fill me with your Holy Spirit.
That's not forgiveness, Jesus.
You want me to go back
I'll
and sleep
forgive
with
you,
her
but
again?
You gotta leave. This sounds like those Christians who said, I forgive, but I don't forget. That's amazing. All right. Yes, James.
My comment is there was this prophet in the Bible that God forced him to stay with this. He actually made him marry this prostitute, and she kept on cheating on him, and he had to keep on taking her back.
That's right.
I think it was an illustration of what God does with us, or with Israel.
And what's the guy named G?
Close. It was called Hosea.
Well, G, you better get over that so that when you get married, you may have to deal with it. Because God gives you what your weakness needs.
This person said, marriage can be difficult, but it's bigger than the two of you, especially if you have kids. It's not just about you.
That's right. It's about the kids once they're involved.
Hosea was the prophet.
Yeah.
This person is asking, how would you ask God to show you something?
I would say, God, show me something. Just that simple. Whatever it is you want to see, ask and you shall receive. As long as you don't doubt. Ask. And I remember, and I've told this story before, when I was growing up in Alabama, you hear the older people say, whatever you ask God for, if you don't doubt, He will give it to you. And that's mothers and brothers. And so our blood family is not really our family. They're like a blood family, but our true family are those who hears God's word and do His word completely. Not the ones who sin, and call themselves children of God. Those are not your true brothers and sisters either. Those who are keeping the word, they hear the word, and they do the word completely. Not halfway do it, not sometime do it, but completely. Yes?
On the gentleman whose wife cheated, he had no sense that she had that in her? I mean, there was nothing that
There was nothing there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And they've been together for how long?
They've been together about, if I took a guess, I think about 5 years or so.
And he never saw any quality in her that would give rise to that possibility.
Right.
That's really
Because
unusual.
she's just not that kind of woman.
Yeah.
She's really not that kind of woman. And he know why it happened, too.
Okay.
He understand all that, why she did it.
Right.
But no, there was no sign.
Wow.
And I'm happy they're trying to work it out because she's really sorry about it.
Yeah.
It's not like some men and women who cheat and they just say, oh, I'm sorry, but really don't mean it.
Right.
This is different.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. And it's interesting talking to him about it. He said the way he found out that he could sense something had changed in her. He knew something, but he didn't know what it was. And cheating was the last thing he expected. And so he asked God to let him see what's wrong with his marriage, what's going on. Something wrong with my wife, what is it? And right after that, she came and told him. Isn't that amazing? So that's how he found out. She told him because she felt so guilty. And he told me that yesterday that the guy that, he didn't know the guy or something, but the guy that she cheated with, called him too and just totally apologized. He's like, I was so wrong. It was just so awful. I feel like I'm going to hell. I'm truly, truly, truly sorry. Even the guy is sorry for it. Isn't that amazing? Would you stay with a woman, G, that cheat on you?
No.
Even if she's sorry for it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I'm out.
What?
I'm out.
I'm out.
Goodbye.
But how about if you cheated one time and you were sorry for it, when you want your wife to try to work it out?
Nah, she better not keep me.
Why not?
Because I was a dog about it. That I gotta
No, if
change.
you were sorry, you weren't a dog.
I don't know. If I really love her, I'll be like, oh, please.
Right.
But I don't know.
What about with kids?
How about if you had kids? That's a
Man.
good question.
It'd be like, I have to swallow it, it'd be so bitter. I'll probably stop having sex with her, though. Get her a new room. I don't even touch her no more.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
But you need to, if she's sorry, man, you need to forgive her.
I forgive her, send her
if it
to
was
church.
a continuation of doing it, if she could did it continuously, then I wouldn't, I wouldn't be bothered with it.
Yeah, I forgive her, but she got to get out the house.
Merry Christmas. Life is amazing. It's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing what can happen in life. I was talking to a man yesterday who got married, and he decided, a young man too, he decided that he's going to be a good husband. He wasn't going to cheat on his wife. He's going to work hard. He's going to take care of his family. He committed to that. Got into the prayer and just decided, I'm going to do the right thing. And life was just working very well. Then he found out his wife cheated on him. And so now he has to live with a wife who cheated on him. And he's doing it because, they have children, and the wife is really sorry that she did it. Real sorry that she did it. Have you ever done something, Satan blind you for a moment, and he convinced you to do something that is wrong, and then as soon as you do it, he step aside and let you see what you've done, and now you want to kill yourself because it's just horrible, right? Well, she is sorry that she did it. She really is. So I hope that they work it out. Most of the time, cheaters are not sorry that they cheat, but this man's wife is. She's a nice lady. I'm a little surprised she did it. She's a good woman, but so he understands that, and they're working it out. But we were talking about, it's amazing. He never thought that one day down the road, he's going to have to deal with a cheating wife. You don't know what's coming down the road. That's why it's good to deal with these little things that are happening now so that it prepares you for things to come. Absolutely. Yes?
There's a comment online. I was asleep my whole life till I heard Jesse. Now everything he says matches with my beliefs. Unfortunately, I'm a coward and come from a family full of miserable cowards. It's not a question, but it's a comment.
Yeah, that's a nice comment. But the fact that he recognized he's a coward, he's overcoming it. Or he or she. That's good. Yeah. Most people are cowards. That's why we're losing families. And as a matter of fact, most families are screwed up. Have you noticed that? Most families are messed up. I haven't seen a well put together family in years. So I'm thinking it might be okay. One day, Mary, Jesus' mother, her name was Mary, right? And I'm bad at names. Mary and Jesus' brother showed up. Or they were waiting for Jesus on the outside of the synagogue or something. And someone said, Jesus, your mother and your brother is waiting for you. Are waiting for you outside. He said, my mother and my brother are those who hears God's word and absolutely keep his word. They do his word completely. That's my brother and those are my